Thanksgiving Day destination, we will have your complete travel forecast. Plus, Black Friday lurks. The rookies just head to the stores all willy-nilly, but we have your complete Black Friday shopping guide. We'll save you big money. And November is all about men's health. Our expert is in studio. He will test our knowledge. Sit back and relax. You're on lunch break.
It's your lunch break with Jay Crawford.
And thank you so very much for joining us. Welcome to Lunch Break. I am Jay Crawford. Joined at the lunch table today by Maureen Kyle. We were just talking about yesterday. I asked you, are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You had a little bit of Thanksgiving Day angst, pre-Thanksgiving Day angst.
Yeah.
Are you more ready today than you were yesterday?
There is one side made, but I have to make another side. I have things to chop. I have things to pack up.
And you're going on a trip, and some pack their own bags.
Yeah, just for a night. And my daughters pack their own bags. And I was just telling Jay, the oldest is 6, so I know it's a lot of like stuffed animals and maybe a pair of shorts and a bathing suit. You know, something
nothing
totally
she'll actually need.
No. So I have to go through all of that in about an hour. That's where I'll be.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That's how they learn.
Are you prepared?
I think so, yes. Going to New York City to see my daughter. I'm very excited about that. In fact, there's actually going to be 55 million Americans on the roads traveling for Thanksgiving. That is up from the record, which was in 2005. So this is the most we've had in almost 15 years. That's 1 in 7 of us will be on the roads. That's a lot of people out there.
I think a lot of people, even if you're just driving 20 minutes to a relative's house, you're on the road. And because so many of us are going to be on the move and we have certain weather conditions, we have Jason Fraser here to tell us what we are in store for. And it's already like, I was telling Jay, my SUV was already blowing around out there today.
Yeah, it was. You know, I hate to really be the bearer of bad news because, you know, this is the time of year that everybody really looks forward to, right? And so now you got to deal with this. And just wait, my friends, because we're going to get a 1-2 punch. Not only are we going to get some storms that are going to move through today, but we're also going to have some storms that are going to potentially move through on Saturday into Sunday, impacting a lot of you, yes, Jay, as you're returning. So, sorry, man. Don't shoot the messenger.
No, I understand.
Don't shoot the messenger.
I understand.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on Channel 3, you'll see the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And we know, Jason, that if winds get too high, we don't see all of the beautiful floats. What are they looking for in New York City? So
here's a graphic that I actually put up on my lovely Facebook page. Matter of fact, no, I'm going to scroll through that here. Just give me 1 second. You know what? Can't get to it, but that's okay. So basically, here's what happens with the wind. If it is gusting above 34 miles per hour, what ends up happening is they have to suspend some of the bigger balloons, okay? If it's some of the smaller balloons, they may be able to navigate it. What happens is each team has a little what they call anemometer. It looks just like this. And what happens is they can actually analyze the wind block by block. Because as you know, in New York City, with all of the different skyscrapers, from one block to the next, you could potentially have sustained winds.
It's like wind tunnel through some of those.
Right. And then literally the next minute, you could have winds gusting to like 25 miles per hour. Obviously, we don't want, what happened a couple of years ago to happen with some of the balloons knocking into things and then unfortunately knocking a lamppost down on somebody. So the winds are really going to be the big deal, not only here, but also in New York City. The big concern I'm going to have for everybody here today, we just had a high wind warning issued for us. So that means that we could have the potential, Jay, Maureen, of seeing those winds increase anywhere from about 40 to about 45. Those are gusts, and it will likely be the same for our friends over in New York City tomorrow, just in time for that lovely parade.
Well, it's still going to happen. I mean, is there a part of the parade that you just have to see for it to be like, check the box, it is Thanksgiving?
Yes. So I'm originally from New York City, for those of you that don't know this. So I've been to the parade a number of times. Favorite part, seeing Snoopy. Okay.
I know.
I love Snoopy.
I know.
And it's, of course, like good time. It's very festive. And then, of course, at the end of the parade, what ends up happening, Jay? You see Santa Claus.
Which is the best part. That's my highlight.
That's it.
I've seen it in person, too, and it's always wild to me because when they come right in front of Macy's and they're singing their songs, it doesn't feel the same live in person as it goes home. The acts are lip syncing, and so you hear the music a little bit, but not that much, and it's just a bizarre feel.
So yeah, that's what we've been talking about on the morning show. That's now my favorite part is how bad the lip syncing is.
It's
that
awful.
I didn't realize as a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm like, wow, they're great
I
singers.
hate to peel back that curtain if you didn't know.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks
pretty
for being
sure-
a party pooper.
I'm pretty sure
Thanks to
everybody
all
knew.
the kids that are watching
I'm
at
a
home
spoiler.
there.
I'm a spoiler. Jason, thanks. We
Yeah,
appreciate
Appreciate
it,
it, guys.
guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
And you
Thanksgiving.
too. Next on our lunch break menu, what to do if someone at your Thanksgiving Day dinner decides to talk about politics. Now, we learned yesterday in Mike Polk's etiquette lesson, it is a definite social faux pas to bring up political discussion.
You know
these
what?
days.
No matter what, even though it's a faux pas, inevitably it happens. There's always an uncle or a cousin or somebody that decides to drop a political bomb at the dinner table that can make things just super awkward in a matter of seconds. And we all know this from SNL.
Watch this.
I am thankful that our governor is not going to let those refugees in here.
Oh my God.
You know, I heard the refugees are all ISIS in disguise.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I actually saw an ISIS in the A&P today when I was picking up the yams.
No, you didn't, Aunt Kathy. That was an Asian woman.
You know what?
And she's a guest in our house.
Excuse me? I don't know who's who.
She's a guest in our house.
Hello, it's me. I was worried.
If only things could really be resolved that easily and that quickly,
Yeah.
and with that much fun.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think we'll all need Adele on standby for a little sing along, just in case someone decides to go there.
Especially that song. That one just puts everybody at ease. But actually, the Independent Journal Review does offer some tips on how to avoid those awkward moments. And for starters, it's good to set ground rules. There's nothing wrong with saying that the table is politics free.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good table setter
Yeah.
to begin with. If it does go there, have some standby diffusive responses. I don't have an opinion. Can we agree to disagree? But this is my favorite, Maureen. Gee, that dip looks fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Whether it does or not, change the subject.
Guess what the kids just did or something.
Yeah, I know.
you gotta-
It's so good.
yeah.
So good luck navigating those
Right.
political
It'll
conversation bombshells that may or may not come up at your house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check in with our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. She's here to tell us what's clicking in Cleveland. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey guys, you know, any time is a good idea for a quick mental and emotional check-in, and this time of year is no different. The holidays can be a tough time for a lot of us, and one way to help us deal with that is therapy. So that's what's going on online today, and I personally believe therapy is the best thing ever invented. And it seems like Brooklyn author Carolyn Moss thinks so too, because she tweeted asking people to share the best thing they've learned in therapy so that we can all benefit for free. And thank you, Caroline, because this tweet took off and has gotten tons of responses, so obviously this is resonating with people. I've got just a few that stand out for you. Twitter user Sputnik1 reminds us that it's perfectly okay to live your best life however you see fit. She says she learned society doesn't need to be the one to set her schedule. She can eat breakfast at 11 and go to bed at 1 a.m., and that's totally fine. Also, I want to be on that schedule.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right. Now, if you're like so many of us who deal with anxiety, you may find this tip helpful from Twitter user KB. When feeling anxious, KB has learned to use all 5 senses to get calm again. KB tweeted, count 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you feel, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. I think that's some pretty good advice. I definitely plan on trying that one out. And as we head into the holidays, where we might be around people we disagree with, Dominic Mendez shared what could be a very helpful lesson. They have learned confrontation doesn't have to be bad or even lead to an argument. We could redirect our focus away from worrying about confrontation by making a list of sorts of maybe what the problem is, why it's an issue, and what can be done to fix it. These are all such great tips, but I do want to point out that this is all secondhand advice, and every situation, of course, is unique, so there is no substitute for talking to your own mental health provider. And really, mental and emotional health are just plain health, so we need to remember that. But I will say, I am loving this thread. So many great tips for us to keep in mind here.
Free advice.
Yeah, and always something great to keep. Holidays are so stressful.
Yeah.
That it's much needed.
My advice is breathe, slow, in, out, in. Just a couple times when things start to feel like they're overwhelming.
You said that, and all of a sudden I was.
Easy. Yes, it always works.
I mean, yeah.
Stephanie, thanks. Okay, next on the menu. After Turkey Day, the calendar flips. It goes to Black Friday, and that's the day that tens of millions of Americans absolutely lose their minds, Maureen.
Shopping. They lose their wallets is what happens. 165 million Americans, half of us will shop in the 5 days surrounding Thanksgiving, but the game is changing. According to CNET, 99% of the deals that you'll find in stores, you can also find online, and in some cases, at even better prices.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah.
One of the go-to places, and this is not a surprise, Amazon's Black Friday page, because they roll out new deals every single day. So really, it's kind of one-stop shopping. You go there, and if you missed something great yesterday, odds are there'll be something really good there today.
Right.
CNET recommends to keep spending in check. You make a list, and you set a price alert for the items that you know you're going to have to buy using tools like Google Shopping. I don't know how to do that, but it sounds like a great idea. How do you holiday shop? Online or
totally online?
Everything online now?
Pretty much. I mean, like a little bit in stores, but I can price compare online very quickly and very easily. And if I feel like something's going to sell out, I don't wait for the best deal.
That's the best. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah,
you know?
That's the way to do it.
So.
Okay, next on the menu, tips on finding that perfect Christmas tree, including how to make that awesome smell stick around. Watch this.
If you look at the center, if you look at the trunk, you'll see little sap pockets.
Like right there.
Like right there.
Yeah. What is that?
That's the sap pocket. So you want to do just something like this. See how?
Oh my! It's like a pimple. Wow. Welcome back to Lunch Break. Right now we're in Willoughby Hills at Gregg Christmas Tree Farm, and we're basically going to tell you how to buy the perfect Christmas tree. There's a lot to it, and that's where Jeff comes in. Jeff's the expert, and he's here basically to give us tips on what kind of tree we need for our certain situations and everything else. So I want to start with, how many different types of Christmas trees are there?
Well, there's a lot of different types of Christmas trees. What we sell are 4 different kinds, but if you were to go to a lot of different lots, you might find 7 or 8 different kinds. But here we have Fraser fir, Canaan fir, white pine, and blue spruce.
Okay, is there one that's universally considered the best?
Probably the Fraser fir.
And why?
Well, it holds its needles real well. It's got a real strong smell to it. It's got beautiful color. The branches are strong to hang ornaments, so that's usually kind of the Cadillac of trees. And here's a Fraser fir right here. You know, so once it gets inside and gets warmed up, these branches are going to come down a little bit, and it's going to expose the heavy part of the branch. And yeah, you're going to put heavy ornaments on it, lights, and it's going to stay nice and fresh. It's a great Christmas tree.
Okay, Jeff, let's talk price point. I'm guessing Fraser fir is at the top of the list.
Sure.
How do they go down from there?
Then it would go, Canaan fir is pretty close to a Fraser.
Gorgeous tree, by the way.
Thanks.
Gorgeous.
And then going down from there, blue spruce is going to be pretty close, and then the pines are going to be the cheapest.
So that's your budget tree, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, now we're with Doug Gregg, also part of the family business. So we've picked our tree, and what should happen next?
Okay, after you've picked your tree, we'll give it a fresh cut.
Okay.
If you want it drilled, we'll drill the stand, we'll shake it, and then we'll go over and bale it.
In the business, that's called shake and bake, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you should cut off the bottom inch?
Inch would do, yes.
Okay, and why do we do that?
That gets the old sap off the trunk and allows the water to go into the tree, just like a fresh cut flower.
Okay, so now we've got a fresh cut, which is going to allow the tree to take water.
Water, yeah.
Okay, so what now?
So now we can drill it.
Okay, now Doug, I thought that was actually done to get more water into the tree, but that's a myth.
Yeah.
So why do they do that?
I'll show you that in a minute.
We've got the hole drilled up the stem. This is called the shaker. What do we do here?
This will get all the loose needles out, leaves. We tell the kids raccoons, squirrels.
Anything you don't want to take home.
Anything you don't want to take home.
All right, so how's that work?
Just press the air button.
Wow! So, Doug, we've picked the tree, we've cut off the bottom, we've drilled the hole. Now we're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Two kinds of balers. Tell me about that.
Okay, so there's the netting baling that's like this, and then there's the mechanical baler, which is like the tree that we cut open over there.
Right.
And all it does is just compresses the tree so that you're not fighting branches when you're putting it up. And you don't have arguments between family members, and
Yes.
it's crooked, it's that. And
Smartest invention ever.
Yes. So all we do is just pop it through. What we did with the drill goes into this stand.
Right. And you sell these stands too, or no?
Yes.
You do. What's this stand going to set me back?
25.
Oh, that's very affordable. No, that's $25. That's very affordable.
There you go.
And if you're looking for more than just Christmas trees, Gregg Christmas Tree Farm has you covered. Wreaths go anywhere from $25 to $35, and they're beautiful. And you should think about shopping here, because our cameraman Barry bought two smaller, and he got owned. He paid $50 a pop, $35 for the big ones. And you're going to get quality. Look here, Ohio State Fair champion, reigning champion. Well done, Gregg Christmas Tree Farm. Had a blast picking out Christmas trees. Hopefully we gave you a couple of good tips that you can use when you're looking for that perfect tree. Much more lunch break straight ahead, right after this.
Yes, I'm Dr. Charles Modlin, Department of Urology, Cleveland Clinic. All right, thanks.
Welcome back to Lunch Break. Today is Wellness Wednesday. It's also No Shave November, or Movember. That's when men stop shaving, if you choose, to raise awareness and money for men's health. That's how that works.
Yeah. Dr. Charles Modlin is here from the Cleveland Clinic, so he's here to educate us on men's health, which, out of all of us, I don't know if I'm the expert.
You'll probably end up winning.
You guys have a leg up on me, but we'll be guessing if what he says is fact or fiction. And we have some rules to the game. So we have to hold up the mustaches to guess, so we don't just randomly.
And first one to hold it up is to answer the question.
To answer fact or fiction.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep mine right here.
Dr. Modlin, are you ready?
I'm ready. I have some really difficult questions for you.
Okay.
Let's see who can win.
Okay, go ahead.
So, first question. A lot of men find going to the doctor so unappealing that most would rather do household chores
I think she beat me
than go to the doctor. Fact or fiction?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say that's a fact.
Yeah, that actually is a fact. You know?
I was going to say
and I hate to do household chores, but I hate to go to the doctor.
A lot of men would rather clean the bathroom, for example. You know, Cleveland Clinic did a national survey of men across the country and found that actually 72% of men would actually rather do these household chores than go to the doctor. And that's actually a problem because a lot of things that we can find, if you go to the doctor, prostate cancer, diabetes, heart disease, colorectal cancer.
Early diagnosis.
Early diagnosis. A lot of these conditions we can actually treat and cure or even prevent if you go. So not going to the doctor is a bad thing, and so we encourage men.
Yeah. We need to get over it, men.
Step up.
We need to get over it and go to the doctor. Okay,
exactly.
Next statement.
So the second question, some men avoid the doctor because they are scared of what they may find by going to the doctor.
I'm going to say fact on that one.
Actually, that is a true fact.
Yeah.
And again, there are many reasons why men shun going to the doctor. A lot of men fear the prostate exam, for example.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of men would rather be in denial and not be told that they have a certain condition.
And you know, I find that to be true too. Well, if I don't go, I won't know, and then I won't have the worry, but that's the worst thing you can do.
Exactly. And also, our survey indicated that 38% of men thought that the symptoms or the actually problem would actually resolve on its own. So if you just ignore it, don't go to the doctor.
We're not the brightest gender on the planet.
I feel like it's so opposite of women who like WebMD it, and then suddenly we have something serious.
Okay, next statement.
So the next question, the leading cause of death for men in the United States is cancer. Is that true or false?
I'm going to say that that's false. I would think heart disease.
Okay, actually, you're correct. Heart disease is the number one killer of
I'm
men.
ready for medical jeopardy.
Do you need an apprentice?
right. You know, so cancer is actually number 2.
Okay.
And
I thought I'd read that before. Yeah.
And the fact that the men don't go to the doctor, they miss opportunities to screen for some of the leading causes or contributing factors, the risk factors, screening for diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, things like that.
Things that could be markers for heart disease.
Could be markers for heart disease, early detectors of heart disease. Also, men actually also ignore signs and symptoms of having a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
Simply because they're afraid of going to the doctor.
I'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
That thing is just going to go away.
All right, last statement, doctor. This is great so far.
Yeah, so the last question. Men should undergo a colonoscopy, that's screening for colorectal cancer, every 10 years, beginning at the age of 60. Yeah,
false. That is false, right? I mean, it's earlier, right?
Yeah, it is earlier.
Like younger.
So the recommendation is at age 50, you start screening. However, there are certain individuals that are higher risk for colorectal cancer.
My father had it, and I have I've had colonoscopies every 5 years since I was 40.
So you actually start 5 years younger than your first degree relative.
Okay.
Screening for colorectal cancer.
Okay, got it.
And generally the best screening.
And that's so important.
Yeah.
Because that's one that if it's caught early, you have a better chance, obviously, of catching it. Like all cancers, but you can be cured. You have an event that you want to tell us about that's important.
Exactly. So on April the 23rd, next year, 2020, we have our 18th annual Cleveland Clinic Minority Men's Health Fair. The health fair is open to everybody, regardless of race or ethnicity, but we target minority men of color, because of the higher incidence of healthcare disparities, higher rates of hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, prostate cancer. You know, black men develop and die from prostate cancer twice as often as white men.
Is that true? Twice as often?
Twice as often. And so there are things that we can do about it. We can cure a lot of these conditions if the men would just understand they need to come in and get screened.
April 23rd of next year.
Next year, we're going to be at Cleveland Clinic main campus, Akron General Hospital, Lorraine Family Health Center, and Lutheran Hospital, 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Awesome. I'm sure you can get that info on clevelandclinic.com or the website if you need to. Dr. Modlin, great info. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We wrap lunch break right after this. Really good info. Oh my goodness, we were over the moon here at Channel 3 yesterday because our close friend and colleague Sara Shipman and her husband Angelo are expecting their first child.
Yeah.
We're so excited about that.
It was so fun how they did it too, in case you missed it. We definitely have it online where they did what they were thankful for, a video of what they were thankful for, and then they hear it right at the end. Sarah held up the ultrasound.
That is
a surprise.
She
just
and
brilliant.
Angelo are going to be great parents. We're so excited for them.
Have a great Thanksgiving. See you Friday.